Council meetings are long and boring. Wouldn't it be great if they were short and unboring? This is why I haven't created the 5. Make it 10. 10-minute meeting! Ashland City Council meeting of May 20th, coming to you live from Masons on Main. You know, back in the day, they did cocaine in the basement here. So if you're having a rough day, run into the basement and lick the floor. You might get lucky. Remember, only 5 counselors are here on May 20th because they're still picking a counselor. And the mayor's proclamation, the mayor says, hey, it's bike month. Whereas, bikes are great for our city. Therefore, May is bike month. Share the road with bikes. And it's proclamation Building Safety Month, too. Sponsored by the International Code Enforcement Council. Sounds like a fun group. Acknowledge the importance of the rules. And then this counselor goes, hey, that bike event and races last weekend, those were sweet. And then the consent agenda. It starts with a public forum. A lady in a scarf said, hey, there are a bunch of fees in the council agenda. Where are they in the budget? And then items A through D, those were all approved. Don't worry about that. It's just a few million moved around from here to there. Nothing to see. And then item D, these two pull, or item E, these two pull it, and it is the annual miscellaneous fees increases. And I am going to record a special 5 minutes of fees, May 20th special edition. You can click on the link in the video description below. For now, let's just say there were some changes made to the fees, and most of it was approved. And then the Enhanced Enforcement Zone Ordinance. Police Chief Ty O'Mara. I know, he used to be Charlie Brown. I gave him an upgrade. He gets to be Kojak now. He says the enforcement zone has been in effect since 2012. That's it used to be there. This is it. This is the enforcement from 2012. And then in December of 2014, the zone increased from downtown to include chunks of Ashland Street here. You know, this whole chunk here. And where transients have been congregating. And this guy goes, so chronic offenders are still a problem. So I brought the tougher Medford enforcement zone language to council, and that was a mistake. Nobody liked it, and they said, come back with something else. And guess what, Ashland? This discussion goes fantastically off the rails. So I'm spinning this off into another special edition I'm calling 5 Minutes of the Nutty Knucklehead. And you can click on that link in the description below as well. The short version is no decision was made on the new enforcement regulations, and it will be discussed further in an upcoming study session. There was an off-camera scuffle between the police chief and a former counselor, and a 5-minute recess was called. And like I said, the link to that, my description of that meeting is below. And when we returned from the 5-minute break, the mayor said, we just had 2 acts of violence that betrayed the trust of this space. One was a verbal and one was a physical act, and we need to pursue appropriate public discourse. And then the human resources director showed up and said, here's the comp and class, the compensation and classification study. And the consultant showed up and presented the study and said, here are the ages of your employees and the years of service, and you have good retention. And we look at comps from other local cities and reject the high ones and reject the lowest ones and get the regular ones. And you are a little underpaying comparatively, but nothing major considering you have more younger employees, and with fewer years on the job. Your biggest problem? Salary schedules are all over the place. 16 different pay grades, increases from 2% to 15%. And me, personally, Jim, this is me saying this. I mean, I forgot what I said. I hate city consultants. They usually seem like such a waste. But this lady seemed on it. She was really clear, and she was very focused, and she was succinct. And she said that her team chose to focus only on this salary schedule issue for the city to make it make sense between the different departments. And she said, so here's a brand new schedule fee system, and here you go, and everyone has 8 steps, and the average increase is 3%, and so we've given this to you, we've decided this is your problem, and we fixed it. And the mayor said, wow, that's pretty good. Next. And then the general public forum, a pigtail homeless advocate said the other day it started raining on the night lawn when it wasn't forecast, and one volunteer quit. The city has no plan. It's madness. Oh, and the Olra Kitchen is opening is coming soon. So come on out and take a tour. And then water rate discussion. Public Works Director Scott Fleury said, council said you wanted more rate options to choose from. So here's our water rate contractor. And the contractor showed up. There's a graph and cost recovery and variable components and incentivized industry standards. Remember how I like that compensation consultant? This consultant is more the norm, aka somebody I don't like and is incomprehensible to normal humans. And so there are 4 rate schedules proposed. And so this guy says, he goes, hey, can we give people an idea of how much their rates will increase as a ballpark? And Scott Fleury, the public works guy, goes, it depends on a lot, but let's say 10%. And this guy goes, oh yeah, that was super helpful, thanks. That was helpful. That was it. And then this one goes, he goes, hey, can we assume that super high usage levels are all outdoor use? And Scott Fleury goes, oh yeah, absolutely. All late fall, winter, and early spring, the city of Ashland uses 1.7 million per gallon constantly, every day of water. And the minute a plant starts to grow, usage takes off. And then all that water is going to outdoor watering and pools and stuff like that. And then this guy goes, I move to adopt tiered water rate structure number 1. I like that it keeps the lowest usage rates flat at first and sticks it to the high usage people. And this one says, she says, I love water and the new water treatment plant, and I know rates haven't gone up in 6 years, but I want to pay for water with some new magical money somehow. And then this guy goes, I want structure 3A. So, and then this one goes, I also want structure 3A. So, and then this guy goes, I don't get it. He goes, why? Structure 1 is cheaper. And this guy goes, I did a lot of math, and I think 3A is cheaper. And so it was voted 3-2 against. So only these two were for structure 1, and so it failed 3-2. And so then this guy goes, I move to adopt structure 3A. And this guy goes, your math is flawed and superficial. And it was approved 3-2, because then this guy, these two, and this guy, well, yeah, 3A is fine. I mean, whatever. Let's do it. And so that passed the structure 3A. And so what exactly are the new base meter costs and the cost per cubic foot of water going to be? Shut up and drink your hose water, citizen. It's going to be more. That's all you need to know. And then parks and fee resolution. The city manager, Sabrina Cotto, she goes, here's the motion for a $5 fee on the utility bill. And there's a public forum, and the bald cap parks worker said, $5 a month is lame. He says, lame? We all want to be stewards of the land, but we want a more secure funding source for this park. And then an old ice skater came up and said, I support this $5 as a stopgap. And then the mayor, she goes, where is she? There she is. She says, the budget committee has requested this fee. So what does everybody think about the fee ending in 2 years? And this guy goes, I require that it ends in 2 years. So then we can then create a better park funding process. And then this guy goes, I'd vote for $5 forever, but if it's only 2 years, I'll still do it. And this one says, I like parks, but I don't support this $5 fee. Of course she doesn't. And then Kaplan says, this guy goes, I vote for the 2-year sunset, but it'll never work, and we'll be back figuring it out in 2 years. And then so this guy goes, I move to have this $5 fee for 2 years, 4-1. And then the Guanajuato Hearts presentation. The Guanajuato Hearts lady was jammed into this meeting, and the artist in Guanajuato, our sister city, who makes a bunch of hearts that are all over the city, wants to make hearts for Ashland. And SOU wants to get 2 hearts from this artist for $600 a piece. And that's, $2,000 with $2,000 for shipping, and of course another $1,000 to fly the artist in. Why can't the artist just carry the hearts? Oh, whatever. And then, so their one heart will be on SOU property, ready for the 4th of July, when the mayor of Guanajuato will be here. And then this mayor goes, "Where's this money coming from?" And Sabrina Cotta says, it's the Arts Commission money somehow. And then this one, she says, "I moved to spend $6,500 on this last-minute art thing." That's what she spent. All right. It was all approved. That's it. At the end of the meeting. You're welcome.